Well guys, you've seen it roll in. The new Hyundai HX210A has showed up along with some work brow goodies. To say I'm excited is an absolute understatement. Let's get this stuff unloaded, unchained, unpacked, and we'll show you what we got. So that is one pallet off. And that thing is quiet now. A little more, Matt. Roll back. Guys, it has been 3 days. Guys, it has been 3 days since this thing's been delivered, and I have not had time to even sit in the seat with it yet. It has been killing me. We have been so busy. It has been so crazy. I've been driving by, seeing this thing sitting here on the lot, just begging to get in the seat of this thing and give it a try. But we have us a brand new HX210Al from Hyundai. It's got less than 5 hours on it. It has not even dug its first piece of dirt yet. It is new. It is fresh. Now this is a very similar situation to the other two joint ventures we had with Hyundai. Hyundai has provided this machine to us for 90 days to demo and give our thoughts and feedback on, so we can't thank them enough. This is Hyundai corporate, and man, to say I am honored to give this thing a try is an absolute understatement. They have been so awesome to work with in the past. If you guys have been following the channel for a while, you know we started off with the HX145, had it for 90 days and used it on a lot of different jobs. Then last year we had the HX85A, which is a brand new machine they just released, used it on several jobs. It was a really nice machine. And this year we've upped the game. We've got the HX210. A lot of you guys out there are keep telling me how I need a bigger excavator, a 210, 220 size, and I'm really curious to use this machine and kind of see how it fits into the fleet, how easy it is to move, how well we can do some of the smaller jobs with it, how much time does it save us on the bigger jobs. This is going to be a really cool learning experience for both of us, and don't you guys worry, I will bring you along for all of it. So this machine, I know for a fact, is going to get compared to two different things. My 120, my 140, they basically spec out the same. So it's going to get compared a lot to my other machines, and then it's also going to get compared a lot to the 220, which is just, I mean, that much bigger on the spec sheet than the 210, which we have here. Hyundai did give me the option to go with a 210 or a 220. I did decide to go with the 210. I don't want to go into a whole bunch of detail on why we went with the 210 over the 220 right now in this video, but don't worry, I'll cover that in great detail in some upcoming videos for sure. But first off, just standing here on the lot looking at this thing, it don't look a whole lot bigger than the 120 or the 140. Now, I'm sure eventually I'll get the other machines parked next to it And I can tell you it is considerably bigger. If I had to guess, I would say this machine is about 30 to 35% bigger than those other two machines. Is basically what it looks like on the spec sheet and basically what it looks like in person. So for starters, 140, 120, they weigh around 30,000 pounds. This thing is right at 50,000 pounds. The 120, 140, they can dig about 14 to 15 feet. They have a reach of somewhere in the neighborhood of about 25 to 26 feet. This thing here will dig right at 22 feet deep, and we have a reach of about 32 feet. So we got a little more reach, a little more depth. Horsepower wise, those machines are around the 120 range. This has the Cummins, I think it's the 4.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. We're right at 170 horse on this. So a very similar engine, just getting a little bit more horsepower out of it. Overall size and footprint is about the same as well, guys. It's, as you see it whenever we load it on the lowboy trailer here a little bit, it is definitely a little bit wider. It is definitely a little bit longer. One thing I do like about the 210 versus the 220 is the house on it. I think is 8 or 9 inches narrower. You can kind of see how it sits in on the tracks. I really like that stance a whole lot. I think that really protects the machines, the panels, gives us a little bit more room for operator air, allows us, basically if your tracks can fit, you know you're going to fit. You don't have to worry about anything else. So I really like how that all pans out. Now, the 220 versus the 210. The biggest difference is the width of the house, which is what we talked about a little bit. Maybe I can even show you guys that a little bit better from the back side here. The tracks, the undercarriage, basically everything from here down is the exact same. From here up, this section right here is just a little bit, not quite as wide, a little bit narrower. Overall weight of the machine, I think it's about 3,000 pounds less, depending on how you spec it out. So this machine here weighs about 3,000 pounds less. I'm sure some of that is that by that being sucked up a little bit. This section of the boom's the same. That section of the boom is slightly different. Now, with that being said, on the spec sheet, bucket capacity, lifting capacity, breakout force on the arm and the bucket is all the same on the 220 versus the 210. So you're not really giving up anything as far as what the machine will do. The reach is the same, the digging depth is the same, the breakout force is the same. We're just giving up a little bit of weight, a little bit of width, and the 220 has the 6.6 liter Cummins engine in it, but it's also 170 horse. They're the same horse, and I know there's a big debate about, well, I'd want the bigger engine so I don't work near as hard versus the little engine that works a little bit harder. I got a whole bunch of thoughts on that, and I may do a whole dedicated video on that because my thought process is a little bit different than what you guys think. But man, just walking around this machine looking at it, I've said this time and time before about these Hyundai machines. I'm just drawn to them over and over again because of the simplicity and how neat everything is assembled on these things. It just, I don't know. I don't know if their engineers just think like me, well, that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they just do a really good job of laying everything out, having everything you need accessible, having everything very, very, very well labeled. Even these things here, these doors, you know, they get broke and tore up a whole lot. I just put a little bit rubber link in here. Now, so if that thing gets hit, guess what? It's got a place to give before it bends your door. I mean, it's just simple things like that. So every one of these machines I've ever been around, you know, like on the 140, 120, you're gonna have to open a door to see that. They just cut a little bitty hole out. Now you can see your sight glass. Bam. All your filters, everything you need right here. Plenty of room to get in here to work. I mean, you can just get in here, touch, see, feel, everything. Love it. I don't know, guys. Every time I open a panel on one of these things, I'm just always impressed by it. So let's hop up here on top and we'll check out the engine compartment. The DEF is behind that panel right there. If you remember from the 145 we had, they did make some improvements on that to where we can get in there. And well, here, I'll just show you guys real quick. If you remember on the last one, on the 145, the valve body, there was a whole bunch of other stuff in here with it. And this here lifts up as well. I think it's right here. There we go. So you can get to this either way. Come in this way, come in this way, and this is in a compartment all by itself. As you guys know, this stuff can be a little corrosive and can be a little bit troublesome if not cleaned up. It don't need to be around a whole lot of other electronics or a whole lot of other moving parts. And you got two options to get in there to fill. It's isolated, it's over there by itself. I really like that thought process a lot. So jump up here and look at this, guys. I mean, look at the center of that machine. I can see all the way down to the bottom. Look at the routing on that valve body. It's unbelievably how neat and tidy they got all that stuff in there. They did go with the three-piece hood on this. If you guys remember in the past, they did have one large hood that opened. It was kind of big and cumbersome. And so basically you got your, what they call the service hood now, which is this little small one. And then if you need to work on other stuff, you can take the other ones off. But there's a little power plant in the guy. Again, even the emission stuff is very neatly ran, very compact. Just everything is right there. I like it. It's almost like they categorize stuff. Emissions, engines, cooling. I guess there's only one engine, so emissions, engine, cooling. Everything is easy to get to. I don't know. I like it, guys. I just feel like they took the time to do what they could to make sure everything's routed, everything's in a prime place for feasibility, efficiency, serviceability. Got grommets on everything where everything runs through. Even on some of the big name machines, you don't even see that. Really, 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 really like what I'm seeing. Like it a lot. Nice heavy duty latches. I like it, man. Hope I don't like it too much. They may find a way for it to stick around. So, I haven't even sat the seat of this thing yet. Let's hop up in the cab and check it out. So one thing this machine has is the fuel savings and fine grade control. And basically that fine grade control and the fuel savings is they added a whole lot of different options in the monitor to basically adjust the characteristics of how this machine operates. I'm not 100% diverse in them yet, but we got some of the guys from Hyundai coming. They're gonna fill us in on that a little bit, but I'm pretty excited about that because that'll give us a whole lot. We can basically change the characteristics of the machine based on what we're doing. So if we're grading out like a septic system or something, we want real fine grade control, we can program that in the machine. If we're just hogging dirt and trying to load, bump, and dump, and we just want this thing to move as fast as possible, we can switch over and do that as well. So pretty cool to kind of get diverse in that a little bit. But guys, cab is pretty similar to the other Hyundais we've had. Don't see a whole lot of difference in them. I think most of the difference is the technology they put into the monitor there. But air ride seat, everything's radio when we can get to it. They did put the air conditioner controls in the monitor on this one versus where they used to be right here. So that's a little bit of a change. But yeah, man, visibility on these things, visibility on these machines is superb. I've been in a lot of these, and guys, from the seat, not looking through cameras, I have not been in another machine that has better visibility from the seat than one of these Hyundai machines. And that's from about the 45s up to the 450s. They are just, I feel like you sit up a little bit higher in the machine, but everything around you is down a little bit lower. I mean, I can still see over there. Very few blind spots. Like it a lot. So all right, enough rambling. Let's turn the key and see what we got here. I mentioned that I'm just a little bit excited about having this machine. This is gonna be fun. This one's gonna be good. So yeah, we've definitely read the service manual. We know everything there is to know. Is it running? Showing RPM. There's no way that thing's that quiet. By golly, she is running. Quiet little guy. All right, real quick before we take off, one thing I love about these machines is the display. It is so simple, so easy to work on. And one thing I want to kind of show you here real quick, see if I can find it. I can change where we start up. I don't want to start up in economy, I want to start up in power mode. So I'm gonna go back, menu, mode. So here is a lot of that setting stuff. So load sensitivity, this is like how sensitive, like how fast it reacts to what we're doing. I'm gonna bump that up one. This is basically swing versus boom. So what, if I'm booming up and swinging, how fast do I want it to go? I'm just gonna set all this stuff right here in the middle for now. Boom arm balance. So this is the one I complain about a whole lot on the 140, is the boom and the arm. I call them timed. They're calling it balanced. One is faster than the other. So basically here, this gives me the option, the option to say arm or boom. So which one do I want to have more priority? Or I can put it right there in the middle. Notice how easy all this stuff is to do. Arm speed, this basically will allow it to give more priority to the arm if it's seeing it's not traveling as fast as what it should. So we'll just leave that on for now. But all right, enough. Look at that, man. They even brought up a full tank of fuel. Hot diggity dog. All right, let's pull some levers. Can you guys even hear this thing running back there? It is insane how quiet it is. Oh, we got some swing speed. Oh man, that is smooth. Look at that. I'm trying just to sink this thing down the dirt and grab a bucket, but I guess I'm gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. Man, that thing is definitely smooth. One thing trying to check is how much, whenever you multi-function the machine as far as trying to use the boom while you're tracking and swinging. A lot of machines are really slow down or almost come to a stop, but if you see on this thing, that is pretty impressive. We are moving on. Pretty good, still swinging around doing what we need to do. I would comfortably say that's better than any of the other machines I got. It does take a little bit out of the travel speed, but everything else is still balanced. That's pretty impressive. One other feature that I already love so far is it's got the full 360 camera on it. So as soon as I start to travel, it pops up, pretty much shows me my surroundings, and this box right here is kind of like my safety zone. So as long as nothing's in it, it don't give me any warnings and wants to keep going. Now as I track on up, see if I can do this here. Let's just say I stop right here. We go into the cameras. It'll let me choose. Look at all these different camera views. Shows me my radius on there. Can you guys see that? I can choose all these different cameras. If I go and start to swing, it's warning me because it sees my truck over there. Right there. I might just keep Mr. Millennial from getting smashed one day. I have no idea what that sounds like on camera. I'm actually going to leave the machine running, but it is so quiet. I thought the 140 was quiet compared to the 120, and it is, but this thing's quiet compared to the 140, which is absolutely insane. Quiet and smooth. This Dirt Perfect may be in trouble. I'm slowly falling in love with this thing. Anyways, all right, so a couple things. First off, guys, you may notice this does not have a coupler on it, and it does not have a thumb on it. And lucky for us, the guys at Workbrow, Neil and the team up there, they have provided a Progressive Link thumb in coupler. We're actually going to install on this machine. We're going to move all that stuff up here to the shop a little bit, and I believe the folks from Hyundai are going to come down, and we're actually going to install a 2D grade control, a factory 2D grade control system on this, which I think is going to be one of the first ones in the country as far as Hyundai is concerned to have that on it. So I'm pretty excited to see how that's going to work. If I can come up with a 2-foot bucket on some of this field tile work and some of these septic works, that is going to be super handy. So with all that being said, we need to get this stuff to the shop because we need to get our goodies installed. So let's get everything on the move, get it up there to the shop. We'll kind of look all that stuff over and see what we got. Wow, I'm excited. It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas in May around here. All right, coupler thumb on and strapped. Let's head to the shop, get this unloaded. We'll come back and get the machine. All right, let's get these beauties moved in the shop and we'll go back and get the excavator. all the goodies are moved in the shop. Let's go get the excavator. All right, let's see if we can get this jewel loaded up on the trailer. I'm not real concerned about weight on this particular one. It's kind of one reason we went with the 210 over the 220. It's about 8,000 or 9,000 pounds less than the 850J with the ripper on it. So if you guys remember, that should put us at legal non-permitted limit at just under 80,000 pounds. But this thing is just a little bit wider than the 850J. Which means we're going to have just a little bit more track hanging off each side of the trailer, but I think we still should be able to fit. Should be able to still fit just fine. Let's find out. Looks like to me she's gonna fit on here just as snug as a bug on a rug. Machine becomes kind of useless if I can't move it myself. So perfect. All right, we are flagged and chained. Everything looks pretty good. Let's get this beauty to the shop. All right, guys, we successfully made it up here to the shop. Let's get this thing unloaded and hope it fits in the shop. I think it will. Get this thing lined up, heading in the shop here. We're gonna get it parked up for the day. It's probably hard for you guys to see, but this fancy new camera system is definitely handy in situations like this. I don't have anybody here to spot for me today, so we're kind of backing in blind. Should fit through the door fine, but it is a little bit tight. But I can pretty much see everything going down back there. Well, there it is, guys, in the shop. It fits. A little tight, a little snug, but by golly, we made it without tearing down anything, so that's a good thing. What's coming up next? Like I mentioned before, the guys from Workbrow are coming up tomorrow. We hope to get the coupler and the thumb installed. This is a progressive link or a pro link thumb, whatever you guys want to call it. Same style thumb I have on the 120 and the 140. You guys that watch Chris Let's Dig 18's channel, same thing as what his LD18 thumb is, just a different brand. Workbrow's kind of set us up on this one, so we're going that route, and I am excited about it. It is a 4-tine thumb. It will go between all the teeth on the bucket. It's a 48-inch high-capacity bucket on here. I think it's like 1.5 yards, somewhere around in that neighborhood. We also have the pin grabber Workbrow coupler, which will allow us to grab any pin spread. I think it's in the 80mm pin class with the 200 series class machines. We also will put the bucket on backwards like we do occasionally. Now, none of the 120 or 140 buckets will switch over to this machine. We'll have to start accumulating some for this machine if we decide to end up keeping it. But for now, this setup will more than get us by. So hopefully the next video you see on this thing, Neil and the team from Workbrow will be here. We'll get the thumb installed. And then a few of the boys from Hyundai are coming down. We're going to do the 2D grade system on this thing. And today's Sunday. Hopefully by Wednesday, this thing is out of the shop and on the job. So pretty excited about it. Hope you guys are excited about the videos coming and kind of seeing how this fits into the Dirt Perfect fleet. So definitely stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big old thumbs up. Definitely helps out the channel. You don't want, make sure you don't miss out on the upcoming videos, the installs, and on the job working. I'd consider subscribing. It's free. That way we can catch you guys on the next one. Later.